I think it's absolutely absurd that this is happening the year 2023. It is, the most affected people are clear, the science is clear. We need to keep the carbon in the ground, and Germany is really embarrassing itself right now. I think it's much more frustrating the people living here and the people affected by the climate crisis. But of course, being a climate activist in this global struggle, of course, it's horrifying to see what's happening.
Lucy, blind! Lucy, blind!
Lucy, blind!
All right, guys, so we gotta revisit a story that I did a couple days ago about our favorite woke climate extremist slash activist, Greta Thunberg, who allegedly was arrested. And ever since I did that video, there are more pictures that have come out from this protest that they were doing in Germany against a coal factory that's being built.
World-renowned climate activist Greta Thunberg was briefly detained in Germany on Tuesday, alongside others protesting against the demolition of a village to make way for a coal mine expansion. Thunberg was removed by officers after sitting with a group of protesters near the edge of the Garzweiler 2 lignite coal mine, about 5.5 miles from the village of Luetzerath. The village is to be razed as part of an agreement between the government and Germany energy utility RWE. The deal saves 5 other villages once slated for destruction. The German government has said it needs the mine for the nation's energy security. But opponents say Germany should not be mining any more lignite and should focus on expanding renewable energy instead. Riot police backed by bulldozers removed activists from buildings in the village. But protesters, including Thunberg, remained at the site, staging a sit-in into Tuesday. A Reuters witness spotted Thunberg sitting alone in a large police bus after having been detained. Police said Thunberg and her group were released later in the day.
The fact that all of you are here is a sign of hope.
The Swedish climate activist addressed the around 6,000 protesters who marched towards Luetzerath on Saturday, calling the expansion of the mine a betrayal of present and future generations.
They were protesting the coal factory because they don't like coal, okay? They don't like efficient energy, okay? Apparently, they want the Germans and basically everybody else in the first world to either freeze to death or burn up to death, right? But there's been some images like this that have come out after that protest that show Greta being carried off by the police, okay? And she is smiling in this picture. She's smiling as she is being carried off. Again, a lot of people, had questions about this. It was like, why in the world is Greta smiling? Okay, if I was getting arrested or detained or whatever, right, I don't think I would be smiling, right? I think I would be doing the opposite of smiling. But nonetheless, it seems like old Greta is happy about being arrested / detained, and we could have an explanation for why, as some videos have surfaced to the internet that strongly suggests that Greta may have pulled an AOC / Ilhan Omar / the squad and maybe staged her own arrest. Now, you guys remember AOC Ilhan Omar back when Roe v. Wade got overturned by the Supreme Court and they would protest and make a big stink about it. And AOC was protesting in front of the Supreme Court, I believe. And they went out there and they on purpose kind of did enough to get arrested by the Capitol Police, okay? And then they basically walked around with the police pretending that their hands were handcuffed, right? Pretending that they were handcuffed, okay, even though they weren't, right? Again, it seems like Greta Thunberg has been paying attention to the woke progressives here in the United States, and she took a page out of their playbook, again, because videos like this have surfaced showing that Greta is just chilling with the police. Right, this is what they were doing when they were quote unquote arresting / detaining her. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. Again, what type of arrest is that? What type of detainment is that? Let's look at this one right here.
You also want those for you, man? Wie sieht's denn aus mit der Abadstraße?
Yeah, so it looks like a photo shoot. It looks like a photo op. Yeah, so again, if you look here, they're standing with her while they take pictures. Right? Look at this guy. They're standing with her posed like this while this guy, the press, takes pictures. Again, looks totally staged. Totally staged. Now, this video right here exposes just how unserious the so-called green movement is, okay? Because they're kind of like the limousine liberals here, okay? Over here in the United States, where they protest by going to galas and fancy dinners and stuff like that. They're fighting for your civil rights, okay, at these fancy parties and dinners, but they're not really on the ground, okay? Like, for example, you have the green movement here. Look at what Greta's doing. She's staging her arrest while you have these kids out here mining these materials needed for the so-called renewable energy.
There's an urgency now. The rains make this dangerous work even more risky. And Dorsan's told in no uncertain terms he risks a beating if he messes up again. Dorsan, with Richard beside him, have worked all day. They're 8 and 11 years old. Even this punishing work doesn't guarantee enough for food. Dorsan hasn't eaten for 2 days now. This is what helpless looks like.
Yeah. So again, that is the reality of the green movement, right? Where you have child labor, okay, in these other countries that are happening, where you have these kids working for pennies, okay? So people like Greta Thunberg can, you know, stage her arrest for some attention and pretend like she's some type of freedom fighter, but she's not really fighting for these children and for better working conditions while they're mining their, you know, renewable energy resources and stuff like that. Again, absolutely amazing. So the German police has actually responded to these videos going viral on the internet, and basically they're calling this a conspiracy, right? It is a conspiracy to say that Greta staged her arrest. So again, the German police have actually responded to these rumors about why in the world is Greta smiling? Why are they so soft on Greta, right? So let's read about it. German police swat down conspiracy theory. They staged arrest of smiling Greta Thunberg, or Thunberg. I'm not sure how you pronounce the name. Maybe it's Thunberg. German police denied mounting chatter on social media that the recent detainment of climate activist Greta Thunberg was staged for cameras. Thunberg was detained by police along with other protesters demonstrating against the expansion of a coal mine. Footage of the incident show a smirking Thunberg being carried by her arms and legs by police. She is then put down and police stand for a few moments with her. Thunberg smiling at someone off camera and having her picture taken repeatedly. The footage quickly went viral on social media, with a number of Thunberg's critics questioning the odder moments from her detainment and questioning whether the whole thing was staged. German police responded to this chatter in a Wednesday statement. Quote, "We would never give ourselves to make such recordings," a police spokesperson told the BBC. The BBC. The spokesperson denied Thunberg was being allowed to pose for pictures, claiming police had to wait to bring her to a certain car, blasting those questioning detainment as having political motives. Yeah, I don't know, man. To me, it definitely seems staged. It definitely seems staged to me. I'm just saying. I think that it was staged, right? That's what I think. Quote, "The whole situation has been used by those with political motives, and the real reason is entirely practical and mundane," the spokesperson said. I think Thunberg here is the one with a political motive, right? If anybody has a political motive, it is her. Footage of Thunberg has drawn plenty of attention. Fellow climate activist Al Gore shouted out Thunberg as the World Economic Forum on Wednesday, even claiming she was arrested, though she was only briefly detained and then released. So let's watch Al Gore simp over Greta Thunberg.
There's another divide, increasingly, between those who are old enough to be in positions of power and the young people of this world. Greta Thunberg was just arrested in Germany. I agree with her efforts to stop that coal mine in Germany. Young people around the world are looking at what we're doing. They look at the World Bank and they say, oh, you've got a climate denier in charge of the World Bank. So why are you surprised that the World Bank is completely failing to do its job? What do I say to these young activists that I train around the world when they come to me and they say, are you okay with putting the CEO of one of the largest oil companies in the world in as the president of the COP? There's a lot of blah, 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 as Greta says. There are a lot of words and there are some meaningful commitments, but we are still failing badly.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, simping over Greta, Al Gore, okay? The guy who has, made a career out of being a climate propagandist. I guarantee you he took a private jet to that forum. Thunberg confirmed her detainment in a Wednesday tweet saying she was released quickly by police. Quote, yesterday, I was part of a group that peacefully protested the expansion of a coal mine in Germany. We were kettled by police and then detained, but were let go later that evening. Climate protection is not a crime, she wrote. Okay, yeah, so I'm just waiting for all these climate activists to go and protest in China. Go to Xi Jinping's palace doors and you knock on that door and you demand China stop polluting more than anybody else in the world, right? Stop putting more greenhouse gases / CO2 into the atmosphere more than anybody else, okay? When they do that, then I will take them seriously. I'll be like, okay, y'all are serious when you go to China, right? Go to China and take your protest there, okay? I think that the arrest will actually be serious, right? I don't think that they're just going to carry you away and let you get a photo op and all the other stuff like the German police did. I think that you'll actually get locked up, right? If you ain't trying to get locked up in China over this, you ain't serious enough about it because the world is at stake, right? The world is going to end if we don't do something in 5 years, right? So if that's the case, you need to be at China. You need to be in China demanding that Xi Jinping lower his emissions. Until then, I can't take you that serious. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.